Okay, so next step is to attach arms on my sweater. And I have my armholes here. I have machine stitched around twice along this line here between the beige and the blue, so that I have 2 rows of stitches left on each side of my cutting edge. So I will turn the body of the sweater inside out, like this. And here I have the bottom of my armhole. I will find one of my sleeves, and here I have my increases. They will be on the underside of my arm, and I will match this line to the bottom of the armhole. So I will begin to feed the arm through the armhole like this. I make sure that the right side of the body of the sweater faces the right side of my arm. It's not really it's not a good moment when you turn the sweater back on the right side and you find that the arm is on the wrong side. So make sure you have right side towards right side here. And then I find underside or bottom of my arm, and I place it to my machine stitched seam here at the bottom of my armhole. I try to, this piece here is another 5 rows here that you see as purl stitches here. They are the lining to go around this cutting edge at the end. So this is what will be visible on the arm when the sweater is finished, and this part will be hidden. So I make sure that my machine stitched seam here meets the edge between the knit and the purl here at the bottom of the sweater. This is not the bottom. This is here. And I have to find my needle again. Whoops, that was no good. That was better. Okay. So I will begin by bringing the yarn I will stitch with to this edge between the knit and the purl, like this. I make sure that they are aligned, and I just make the first stitch just to attach the arm to the body of the sweater in the right place. And then I just carefully move along this edge here. My machine stitched seam is here between the beige and the blue. So when I stitch around, I make sure I stick my needle in just on this side. Here you can see the edge. I go on the right side here because then you will see nothing of the purl stitches when I'm finished. And so I just start to sew. When I go back, I make sure I go on just on the right side of my machine stitching, in the middle of the blue row of stitches here will be fine. And on the side here with the knit stitches, so I have to go slow in the beginning just to make it right. And the same back again, and I'll continue doing this the entire way around. I would be wise to stretch it a bit like this and then attach, maybe with a safety pin, these two pieces together at the top to make sure that I don't stretch and move the arm too much, because then my result will be uneven, and maybe I will have a piece like this left over at the end, or maybe too much left on the body of the sweater. So when you are started and you have attached the sleeve on this side, then you just attach it here as well with a safety pin, and then it will be much faster and easier to move all the way around. So I will get back to you when I am finished to show you the next step. Now my whole sleeve is attached, and I will reinforce my stitching by using my machine, and I will place this side up and I will just stitch along the edge between the knitted stitches and the purl stitches here on the wrong side. So I'll make sure that everything is in the right position, and I will just just stitch like this the whole way around. So I will get back to you when I am finished and show you the last step and how it will look like when it's finished. So now I have machine stitched the arm to reinforce the seam, and this is what it looks like before steaming. It will lie a bit flatter and look a bit nicer after. And the only thing left now is to find the needle again, and I will fold. First I will trim all these long pieces of yarn. Then I take this lining and I will fold it over. Let's see. I will fold it over the cutting edge like this, and I will just stitch along here the same way I did the neck. And when I have done that, only thing remaining is to find an iron and lightly steam the sweater so that everything gets a better shape and it will lie a bit more flat. And of course before that I need to fasten all loose ends that you could see on the wrong side and cut off the ends. So, but this is what it will look like when it's finished. So I hope you got a few tips on and pointers on how to make a traditional Norwegian sweater. Later I will add some instructions on how to make a rounded neckline and some other alternative necklines.